Tell me, have you ever had a nightmare? Have you ever had the same nightmare that keeps reoccurring? Did it ever come true? Regardless of your answer, I'm going to tell you my experience with it. With the nightmare that came out of nowhere and not only changed my life, but other people's lives as well. You can call me Fifi. This happened back when I was 15 years old. I was about to finish 9th grade, and I would lie if I said I wasn't excited. I came home from school, had lunch, and played some soccer with my friends, until it was time for me to go home. I brushed my teeth and went into my room hoping to get a good night of sleep, so I could be as productive as possible tomorrow. That night, however, I kept waking up in the middle of the night for seemingly no reason. But after I fell asleep for the 4th time that night, I saw her. I call her the eyeless lady now. I know, creative. At first, I didn't know what I was looking at. There was a shape in front of me that I couldn't recognize. As I got closer, however, I realized it was a human being, a woman, and it appeared that she was crying. Just as I was about to call out to her to ask if she was okay, she turned around and I saw 2 gaping holes where eyes should have been. As soon as that happened, I woke up to my alarm ringing. Another day ahead of me. I was feeling a bit uneasy about the dream during the day, but by nighttime I pushed it to the back of my mind. Again, I did the usual things I do when I get home at night. I brushed my teeth and scrolled through my phone until I felt my eyes go heavy, a sign that it was time for me to call it a night. I fell asleep, but instead of waking up, this time, I immediately dreamed of the eyeless lady. I looked at those empty eye sockets as they stared back at me, neither of us speaking a word or making a sound. I woke up that morning in a cold sweat. This has never happened to me before. Sure, I had nightmares, but they never felt so real. Damn, I really need to stop reading scary stories at night. It's messing with my head, I thought to myself. I took a shower and headed off to school. It was my last day, so again, just like yesterday, I pushed the nightmare and didn't think about it until nighttime hit again. My eyes were heavy even though I got more than enough sleep. The best way I can describe it is that it seemed like I was sleeping but not resting. I was dreading falling asleep again. I was scared of her. I was scared of the eyeless lady. As time passed by, I convinced myself that it was just a silly dream, and I wouldn't dream of it if I didn't think about it. That night, I fell asleep and there she was, the eyeless lady. Just this time, she was standing up straight, her head facing me. Even though I was sleeping, I felt that I needed to ask the question we are all thinking. Why are you doing this? What do you want from me? I said in a shaky voice, grimacing slightly about how unsure and scared I sounded. The lady reached out with her left hand, which was positioned as if she was holding something. Even though she had no eyes, I could see the sorrow plastered on her face. Once again, I woke up in a cold sweat. Only this time, I couldn't shake it off. Something was wrong, and I had a feeling as soon as I go to sleep, I'll find out what. I went about my day, but I couldn't focus on anything except for the eyeless lady and her 2 empty sockets, black as night. The day went by, and it was finally night. Time for me to find out what the hell is happening, and to end it once and for all. I fell asleep, and sure enough, the eyeless lady was standing before me. her hand reaching out just like it had the night before. If you want me to help you, I'll need some answers. Who are you? Why are you in my dreams every night? I said in a much more confident tone this time. She opened her mouth and spoke in a voice that sounded like creaky wooden doors on an abandoned building. Please, please help me find my eyes. Find your eyes? What do you mean? Where are they? I said, starting to panic. As I waited for her to give me an answer, to give me any answer, I heard something that sounded like a large group of people speaking at once, but in perfect sync. I couldn't make out what they were saying at first, but then I finally did. Tell them about us, help us please, is all I heard before waking up. What did they mean by tell them about us? Tell who? Tell them about who? I was confused, frustrated, and as days passed by, I was feeling more and more weak and tired. It went like that for a month. I never told anyone about it, and the dreams never changed past that point. It was always the same. The eyeless lady would have her hand reaching out, and voices would keep telling me to tell someone about them. One day, my aunt was visiting, and as we were sipping on coffee, something clicked in my head. I can tell someone about them, and see what it does, even though I was skeptical of it doing anything. Hey auntie, I had a weird dream. A nightmare for some time now that keeps repeating itself, and I think I would feel better if I talked to someone about it. I said as she stared at me with her blue eyes that directed all attention to me and my story. After a slight pause, I continued. Every night I see an eyeless lady, and every night she asked me to help her find her eyes. I said, making myself shiver even thinking about it. Oh baby, those are just dreams. It's all in your head. Try not to think about it and you'll be fine. She said in a high-pitched tone that was too happy for the conversation we were having. Just as I was about to argue with her, I thought better of it. I told someone about it. I just wanted to see if it would make anything change. That's the whole reason I even told anyone. Now you might ask why I never told my parents about it or anyone else. Because I was too afraid of what was going to happen to them. So I just picked a family member I was not too close with, but that I knew would listen to me. I went on with the day hanging out with my auntie and just having fun. At around 8 p.m. it was time for her to go home. She lived 2 hours away from me, so I decided to stay up and make sure she got home safely. At roughly 10 p.m. I got a text message. Hey honey, just got home, everything went great. There was almost no traffic. I felt relief after I read the message. I guess nothing bad happens when you tell someone about the eyeless lady. Or so I thought. As I fell asleep, I saw a beautiful lady standing in front of me with gorgeous blue eyes. Thank you for helping me find my eyes, she said as she burst into laughter and dozens of jagged teeth were put on display from her jaw. Once again, I woke up in a cold sweat. I thought it was just going to be my normal routine day, until someone called my dad. My dad's face went from tired to alert in seconds, and after a while he looked as pale as chalk. Turn on the TV, he said in a voice that sounded defeated. Breaking news, a woman has been found dead in her apartment with her eyes missing from her head. At this time, the case has been ruled a homicide. We'll keep you updated on any further progress in the case.